And who gave you some hard knocks? What coach did that?
Coach
I told this dude is a legend. I'm telling you, he's a legend.
Yes, he's such a. I mean, he should be recognized through the nation, not just in Illinois.
Absolutely.
Because the stuff that the accomplished. Listen, y'all. If you go look at his history, he probably had the most college graduates come through here as the tutors of his coach. And he never coached our experience.
And this is out of Decatur, Illinois.
I guarantee you, he got over 100, probably more college graduates. They went to school.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Because we had 70 state placement on track and field, and they all went on to college.
Yes.
to see all you all in here. Some old faces, familiar faces. Mike up in the front. Andy, first time ever seen you, but I heard a lot about you. His Florida Disney guy. That's what we heard a lot. And interestingly enough, my son is actually into the same thing you're into. So I was like, I got to hook him up with you. But I will never forget being in the 7th grade, Roosevelt Middle School. I had just got done with running track there. We had a state meet. I went to state, won. Coach Harbeck comes up to me.
He was like a 7th or 8th grader. 7th or 8th grader. And he came over from Roosevelt. You know Roosevelt.
Yep, I was at Roosevelt.
And he came over in the summer, and I.
Hey, kid, I could turn you into a national, and everybody would know your name. I'm like, who is this old man coming up with a hat on saying, I can make you here. Everybody know your name. You'll be one of the best jumpers in the world. I'm like, okay, all right.
We put him back in triple jump. He could just do it. He could just do this stuff so natural.
Hey, no, I coach. And I looked him up and down, and at first it was like, what is this old guy talking about? Until I seen his calf muscles. Some of us that ran track, if y'all knew anything, Coach Harbeck had these chiseled calf muscles with veins pulsating out of them. So that's when I started taking them serious, like, wait, what? Like, woo. So that's what really made me just kind of wake up to, okay, so he's saying I have a chance. So 8th grade year come around, the coach, he wasn't my coach. I ran Staley Striders that summer, my 7th grade year. And Coach Harbeck started introducing me to something called triple jump. Now, in middle school, there was no such thing. You only did high jump, long jump, the relays. So he started breaking down to me what triple jump was, and he comes out with these boxes, things of that, spacing them out, telling me, jump on it with one leg. What in the world? Like, this man is crazy. What is he trying to have me do? Next thing I know, that same summer, I get this invite to go to the Junior Olympics. And this happened to be the same year that the Olympics were. Flown down, we drove down, I'm sorry, because that was a fun trip. I don't know if you remember that, Mike. That was man. We was bad, but we go down to Texas and go to this Junior Olympic meet. First time ever doing triple jump, and I win it. Won triple jump, first time ever doing it at all. And during that time, it just made me wake up and believe in Coach Harbeck. Okay, this guy is really serious. Going into our freshman year at MacArthur, steady training with Coach Harbeck. It was different, though, because some of y'all might be too young for this. Have you ever seen any of the Rocky movies? You know how some of y'all don't know this. There's a part in there where this other fighter that Rocky was going to fight, this man had all the latest technology, treadmills, everything. And Rocky was training with wood and logs. Well, that's what Coach Harbeck had us kind of doing. Because we didn't, at MacArthur, during the indoor season, you couldn't be outside. So Coach Harbeck, I see some of my friends there, Adrian Walker, Ken Carson in the back, Steve Daniels, Coach Harbeck had us running in the school. We would have a group down this hallway, go upstairs, go across, because we didn't have the disc. No. We didn't have that indoor track. We practiced in here. I mean, we were doing triple jump drills on the mats. I used to be like, oh my God, but then, I don't know if you ever seen Karate Kid. Remember Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. He got to the point like, why are you having me doing this? But then, when it came time to go to a track meet, Coach Harbeck like, look, all you gotta do is go out there and jump once. Everybody else gotta jump they gotta jump for the preliminaries, or they gotta jump for the semifinals and then the finals. He said you gotta jump once, because your jump will carry on the rest of the night. So we taking off down the hallways at MacArthur, running up the steps, going across, coming right back down. This is what Coach Harbeck had us doing. He had a work ethic in us, and it was just something that just could not be even compared to. A lot of us are gonna have stories of what Coach Harbeck was as far as a coach. I used to get teased a lot of times on our track team, and even during the Staley Striders, people would say, man, you his favorite, because you do triple jump. Coach Harbeck loved triple jump. You're his favorite, but what y'all don't know, I wasn't Coach Harbeck's favorite. What you saw is Coach Harbeck probably paid a lot of attention to me, so you might have figured you gotta be his favorite because you do triple jump. I was Coach Harbeck's favorite because Coach Harbeck knew what was going on at home. Fatherly advice. I was one of them. I mean, you know, we have some.
But he probably, there's a couple. I don't want to say anything. He probably came as far as anything. From environment, home life, to where he is now. He came as far.
He was very involved. Some of the stuff y'all have no idea. Some of us that grew up in the ghetto, in the hood we call it, we didn't have access or even grew up with a father.
I'll say parents. They had good families. Adrian Walker.
Yep, Adrian has both parents.
I mean, so many of our kids, but he did not.
Nope. He recognized that. So Coach Harbeck would sometimes come up to me. He would shake my hand. When he shook my hand, oh man, he had money in it. Get you something to eat. He knew. Coach Harbeck knew the home situation, and how many times I tell people, it's nothing to be embarrassed of now. But what I really liked about what Coach Harbeck did is that there's been plenty of times when Coach Harbeck knew that I did not have no money. He knew it. He knew I didn't have it. So we'd be somewhere, everybody lined up, get ready to go around and get something to eat. Coach Harbeck walk up to me like this and go like, here, just put it in my pocket. So that's what I'm saying, things like that.
That's play.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to give somebody some money without showing them all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He would just hand it to me because he didn't have nothing to eat. He just give it to me and I would sit there and be in line. It made everything better. So that's the same people like him. That's why a lot of track athletes leave. We show up to a track meet, same exact thing. After the track meet, Coach Harbeck would show up. Hey, what are you planning on eating? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Hey, come here for a second. I meant to tell you something. I noticed something when you jumped. I'm like, what? He said, so he'll have a piece of paper just like this. He'll go, so right here, and it'll be money in it. Get you something to eat. Some people didn't know that. Some days, Coach Harbeck would just show up to my house.
College Street?
College Street, yes, sir.
You weren't out in
No.
You weren't out in
It was in the ghetto.
Yeah, right. I came by, I was standing there waiting for him to come out. I counted 40 kids on the street, just running around, and they weren't so bad. They were just loose gangsters.
Yeah, come out. Yeah, here, I want to take you somewhere. Okay, ride in the car with Harbeck. I want to show you something. He would take me to Fairview Park. Run up the hill. What? Like what? If you want to be the best, these people are coming for you. You got to train hard. Train hard. I'm like, where's everybody else? You didn't go get Ken. Go get Ken. Not just me. Don't know. So this is the type of man that Coach Harbeck was. I would be lying if I say that Coach Harbeck was like a father. He wasn't like a father. He was a father. It's something that a lot of people, I don't think, get pretty much a lot of recognition for, and that's pretty much being a father figure. Because Coach Harbeck did not care what you looked like, who you were. He was just going to be a father. So he told you like it was. Sometimes it hurt your feelings, but he wasn't doing it to hurt your feelings. He knew what was good for you, the things that he told us. And man, this time, remember, Coach, it was a time where, because as a young man, I couldn't articulate it then, but I can't. As a kid, you can articulate how you put somebody else in your mind. In my mind, Coach Harbeck was a father. Y'all don't notice he probably couldn't do it today because of how things have changed, but Coach Harbeck was the type of father, he grabbed you, snatch you like this, you're not gonna do this. He knew that there was times in my life that I was going through certain things as far as adolescence and all that. He knew exactly what to say, what to do. Coach Harbeck really came at me like a dad for real. I mean, he was just a father for real. And I got so mad, I left. Like, it was about a week or something like that. I was like, I quit. There was times in my life that I was going through certain things as far as adolescence and all that. He knew exactly what to say, what to do. Now, you want to be married one day, right? Well, you're not going to mess with any of these girls in here. No, they are all no good for you. All of them. No. I'm telling you, that's how he was. At the time, some of y'all don't know this, at the time, the phrase was a duck. Some of us know what that was. All the girls in MacArthur, they're all ducks. They're all bimbos. You don't need any of them. That's what he would do. So I was literally scared to date in high school because I was afraid of what Coach Harbeck would say if I was trying to get with someone. You don't want a girlfriend. You want a woman. That's not a woman. And I tell you what, if you do find your woman, y'all know how he does it. If you do find your woman, make sure she's sweet. Make sure she's kind. Make sure she's going to be like this. This is who Coach Harbeck was every step of the way. And now because of that, here I can stand and say I've been married 23 years. I have a 22-year-old son and a 20-year-old son. And the same type of way that Coach Harbeck fathered me, I father my sons the same way. My sons are here and they would tell you, they would say, my dad, he is rough. He wouldn't let nothing slide. He stayed on us. Anything, any type of whining, any type of crying. There were times where I was getting ready to cry because of things I was going through at home. Coach Harbeck, no, men don't cry. Now, if you do want to cry, go where no one sees you. But don't let nobody see you do it. Stay strong. Be strong. That's what he would do with me. And so, not to throw any shade on my own father, but when my own father passed away, I preached his funeral. I didn't shed one tear at all. I didn't know my father that well. Ken Carson had posted on Instagram that Coach Harbeck had passed away. I canceled all my patients for the rest of that day. I completely broke down in there. Never cried in a long time. My sons tell, I've never seen my dad. I cried so hard because I knew what was being lost. And then I thought to myself, like, this, this is something to celebrate. Coach Harbeck was phenomenal. He's the reason why he changed the complete trajectory of my life. The complete trajectory. So after I got all my crying and everything out the way, I called Miss Harbeck and let her know, just gave my condolences and everything. And then I thought to myself, how old was he? And then we read how old he was. I was like, he was 82. I thought he was already 82. I thought they was gonna say 115 or something like that. But just the impact that he had on so many of us, so many of us athletes coming out of the place that we came out of is something to say. And I would be surprised if something like this is not made into some sort of movie. I'm serious. If it not, it definitely should something. It should be something that should be in the works. And the last thing I'm going to say is that his best friend, who got up here and spoke and said about Coach Harbeck eating habits, could have fooled us. She just spoke and said Coach Harbeck had y'all with pizza, could have fooled us. Because in here, Steve Daniels, Adrian Walker, and Ken Carson, they can tell you. We show up to a meet, Coach Harbeck showed up with a bag of oranges, a bag of apples, raisins and nuts. Eat this, an hour before the meet, eat this is gonna give you fuel, it's gonna fuel you. And he was absolutely right. So with all that being said, yes, it's very, very sad. But there's so many of us in here right now that because of Coach Harbeck and who he was and how he treated us, literally a byproduct of that. Thank you. Coach Harbeck, I'm glad that was able to get this interview in here. And y'all see, this is what I've always talked about, the legend who was a father to me, Coach Bill Harbeck, Decatur, Illinois.